The story starts with a choice. A quiet one, the kind no one notices until it's too late. During the height of the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker begins to change. Not all at once, not in a blaze of fire or rage. It happens slowly, in the long silences between battles. In the shadows, between victories and grief. Anakin has always felt the pull of the dark side. Every Jedi does. But where others step back, Anakin leans forward. He starts to study it, secretly. Late at night in empty ship hangars and quiet Star Cruiser corridors, he pushes himself far beyond what the Jedi ever taught him. Here is the key difference in this timeline: he doesn't give in to hate. Instead, he treats the dark side the way a soldier treats a dangerous weapon. With respect, with caution, with purpose. He draws on its raw, untamed energy, and then pulls back before it pulls him under. No one teaches him how. There is no guide for this path, no master, no manual. It takes real pain. It costs him sleep. And there are moments, dark, terrifying moments, where he almost loses the thread entirely. But he doesn't. The results on the battlefield are impossible to ignore. On Christophsis, Anakin ends a 3-day siege in under an hour. On Umbara, he moves through enemy lines like a force of nature, calm, precise, and quietly terrifying. His troops whisper about it. Even Ahsoka notices the shift in his eyes. He is faster, stronger, more focused than he has ever been. The Force bends around him in ways that no Jedi Master on the Council can fully explain. Obi-Wan senses it too. He brings it up once carefully. Over a shared meal on Coruscant, Anakin deflects it with a smile and changes the subject. But Obi-Wan doesn't forget. And far across the city, in a grand, shadowed office, high above the Senate district, neither does Palpatine. The apprentice he has spent years preparing is evolving, growing beyond the plan. And for the first time in a very long time, Darth Sidious feels something he almost never allows himself to feel: concern. Palpatine has always been patient. It is his greatest weapon. He built his entire plan, one carefully placed piece at a time, across decades, across lives, across wars he secretly designed himself. But patience has limits. For months, he has watched Anakin from a careful distance, through spies, through the Force, through the subtle emotional threads that connect a Sith master to his future apprentice. He has watched Anakin's power grow far beyond anything he projected, beyond anything the Jedi Order could hope to contain. What worries him is not the power itself. Power is the point. What worries him is that Anakin is building that power without him. So Palpatine changes his approach. The conversations become more frequent, more personal. He stops relying on slow philosophy and careful seed planting. Instead, he begins to push surgically, precisely on every wound Anakin carries: the fear of loss, the rage at the Jedi Council's cold indifference, the desperate, consuming love for Padme that no Jedi code was ever strong enough to hold. And then he plants a vision, not a memory, a vision vivid and brutal of Padme dying alone, in a cold room, screaming, while Anakin stands helpless, bound by Jedi chains he chose to wear. It is a masterwork of manipulation. For a moment, it works. Anakin wakes in a cold sweat. His hands are shaking. The dark side surges through him like fire, and he almost. But something stops him. That quiet awareness he has been building for months rises up like a wall. He sits alone in the dark. He breathes. He pushes the vision back, and he recognizes it. A trap. He doesn't confront Palpatine. Not yet. He isn't ready, and he knows it. Instead, Anakin goes quiet. He stops visiting the Chancellor's office. He becomes unreadable, careful, and still in a way he has never been before. Palpatine notices immediately. The apprentice he believed he controlled is no longer following the script. And somewhere deep in Sidious's cold, ancient calculations, the first real crack begins to form. The moment arrives without warning, as the worst moments always do. Padme falls critically ill, not from war, not from treachery. Her body begins to fail under the weight of a difficult pregnancy and months of relentless stress. The healers do what they can. Pause. It is not enough. Anakin stands at her bedside and watches her fade, and something deep and ancient rises inside him. He has studied the dark side long enough to understand what it is truly capable of. He has read the old texts, the forbidden ones. He knows that certain Sith Lords found ways to pull life back from the edge to hold someone here through sheer force will alone. Palpatine once hinted at this, casually, like a door left slightly open. In this timeline, Anakin opens that door fully. He doesn't summon Palpatine. He doesn't go to the Jedi Council. He acts alone. In the quiet medical ward, with Coruscant glittering far below in the dark, Anakin reaches into the Force, both sides of it, and pours absolutely everything he has into the woman he loves. What happens next is terrifying to witness. The monitors flicker. The air in the room drops sharply. Anakin's eyes go dark, not yellow like a Sith, just empty. Like a void has opened inside him, and he is drawing from somewhere no living Force user has ever touched. And then, Padme breathes. Her readings stabilize. The healers stand in complete silence. None of them can explain what just happened. But Obi-Wan can. He sensed the disturbance from across the entire temple and came running. He arrives at the doorway just in time to see Anakin slumped against the wall, exhausted, shaking, with Padme sleeping peacefully behind him. Obi-Wan says nothing at first. He just looks at his former student, the boy he raised, and sees something he never expected. Not a Sith. Not a fallen Jedi. Something new. Something the galaxy has no name for yet. He closes the door quietly and begins to think very carefully about what he must do next. The Jedi Council does not act rashly. That is both their greatest strength and their most dangerous flaw. They deliberate. They sense the Force. They weigh consequences. And by the time they finally move against Anakin Skywalker, he has already had days to prepare. Days he has used very wisely. The emergency session is called in secret. Masters Windu, Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and 7 others gather in the high tower of the Jedi Temple. Obi-Wan is asked to attend. He sits in the circle, expression unreadable, saying almost nothing. The charge is clear. Anakin deliberately used the dark side of the Force. He violated the most fundamental law of the Order. The risks to himself, to the galaxy, to everything the Jedi stand for are too great to ignore. Beat. Master Windu speaks first. His voice is steady and carries no warmth. Skywalker must be removed from active duty immediately. The vote is nearly unanimous. When Anakin is brought before the council and told he will be stripped of his rank and placed under supervised containment, he doesn't argue. He doesn't plead. He simply stands there and looks at each of them, one by one. Then he says quietly, "I will not choose your side or his. I choose neither." No one in the room misses the word. His. Windu steps forward. "Then you leave us no choice." What happens next lasts less than 60 seconds. Anakin does not attack. He does not threaten. But the Force pressure in that chamber builds so suddenly and so intensely that every lightsaber on every belt begins to rattle in its housing. And then Anakin walks out. No one stops him. Not because they can't, because in that moment, not one of them is truly certain they should try. Obi-Wan watches him go, jaw tight. He knows exactly where Anakin is heading, and he knows. If Palpatine reaches him first, the galaxy will not survive what comes next. Everything Palpatine built depends on one thing: control. Control over the Senate, control over the clone army, control over the flow of information across the Republic, and above all else, control over Anakin Skywalker. He spent years designing the perfect trap, a desperate, grieving Jedi betrayed by his order, terrified of losing the woman he loves, kneeling before a Sith Lord and begging for salvation. That was the plan. That was always the plan. But Anakin doesn't kneel. He arrives at the Chancellor's office not as a broken man. He arrives as something Palpatine has genuinely never faced before, a warrior who walked directly to the edge of the dark side and pulled himself back. A man who has seen every layer of the manipulation for exactly what it is. He doesn't announce himself. He doesn't prepare a speech. He walks through the door, and before Palpatine can speak his very first carefully chosen word, Anakin says, "I know what you are." The mask drops instantly. There is no more patient mentor, no more kindly chancellor. Darth Sidious rises from behind the desk, and the room transforms, the air thickens, the shadows close in, the Force itself seems to hold its breath. "Then you know," Sidious says slowly, "that you cannot stop me." Anakin ignites his blade. What follows is nothing like the duel with Windu. This is not a confused young man torn between loyalty and fear. This is a warrior in full command, drawing on both light and dark simultaneously, pressing forward with a focused, relentless, terrifying purpose. Palpatine is one of the most powerful Sith in 1,000 years. He does not go quietly. Lightning. Telekinesis. A storm of Force energy that tears the room apart. He hits Anakin with everything he has, and Anakin absorbs it, redirects it, pushes through it. Order 66 is never transmitted, because before Palpatine can reach the controls, Anakin makes absolutely certain of it. The galaxy has never felt anything like this. Pause. Senators in the lower levels of Coruscant hear it before they see it, a deep, rolling shockwave that moves through the Force like a clap of thunder. Force sensitives across the city snap awake in the middle of the night. Children cry without knowing why. Animals go completely silent. Jedi in deep meditation across the temple gasp and open their eyes. Beat. At the center of it all, Anakin Skywalker and Darth Sidious. The duel has torn through the Chancellor's office and burst out onto an exposed walkway high above the city. The entire Senate district spreads below them. Coruscant's endless traffic hovers in a frozen halo around the two combatants, as if the city itself has stopped to watch. Palpatine is bleeding. For the first time in decades, the most powerful Sith alive is losing ground. His lightning is caught and turned aside. His deception finds nothing to grip. Every trick in his centuries-deep arsenal crashes against Anakin's combined mastery like waves breaking on stone. But Sidious is not finished. He stops fighting with his body and reaches for the one thing he has always trusted most. Through the Force, he pushes a single image directly into Anakin's mind. Padme, the children she carries, the future, all of it burning. Anakin falters. Just for a second. Just enough. Sidious strikes. The lightning hits like a wall. Anakin is thrown backward 30 feet and slams hard into the guardrail. The metal folds. He is scorched, bleeding, staring up at a sky full of stars and speeder lights. Palpatine stands over him, breathing hard, but smiling. "You are strong, my boy, but love is still your weakness." Anakin looks up at him, and despite everything, the burns, the blood, the fractured ribs, he smiles back. "Yeah," he says quietly. "I was counting on that." He had been holding back this entire time. The Force erupts. And this time, Anakin Skywalker holds nothing back at all. When the dust settles, Palpatine is gone. Not imprisoned, not exiled, gone. The most powerful Sith Lord in 1,000 years, the architect of the Republic's collapse, the shadow behind every war, every betrayal, every death erased from the galaxy in a single devastating release of combined Force energy. The Sith rule of two dies with him. But what rises in its place is something no one was prepared for. Within hours of the duel, Anakin Skywalker broadcasts a galaxy-wide transmission. His face is burned, his voice is raw, but his words are measured and absolute. The Clone Wars are over. The Clone Army is standing down. The Separatist leadership is being offered terms. The emergency powers of the Chancellor's office are hereby dissolved. And Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Republic, former Jedi Knight, something the galaxy has no clean name for, yet positions himself at the new center of power. He calls it a temporary council of protection. Nobody believes the temporary part. The Senate is divided. Many are relieved. Palpatine's hidden government is exposed. His loyalists are arrested, and the war machine is finally grinding to a halt. But that relief sours quickly once the full picture becomes clear. Anakin is not democratic. He is not cruel, but he is absolute. He makes decisions fast, without debate, without committees. He places clone commanders he trusts personally into key sectors. He seizes control of the Chancellor's archives. And what he finds in those files makes him lock them away from everyone immediately. The Jedi Council reconvenes in emergency session. What they see troubles every one of them. Anakin is not Sith. They can feel that clearly across the Force. But he is not Jedi either. He is operating outside every framework they have ever understood. Mace Windu says it plainly. He is more dangerous as a free agent than he ever was as Vader. Even Yoda has no answer. And on the medical ship where Padme rests with two newborn children, a boy and a girl, she watches the transmission in silence and feels something she cannot name. Pride, fear, and the first quiet tremor of doubt. Balance. The Jedi spoke about it for 1,000 years. They wrote about it, argued over it, meditated on it in their highest towers. They built an entire civilization around the idea of what balance was supposed to mean. They never truly understood it. The prophecy said the Chosen One would destroy the Sith and restore the Jedi Order. That was the hope, that was the faith. But prophecies like plans rarely survive contact with the real world. In this timeline, Anakin Skywalker doesn't restore the old order. He dismantles it. Both of them. In the years that follow, he rebuilds the Republic, slowly, painfully, imperfectly into something harder to corrupt. He forces transparency into the Senate. He exposes the Sith infiltration that had quietly rotted the Republic's foundations for decades. He names names. Some of those names shock the entire galaxy. The Jedi Order survives, but it changes because Anakin personally demands it. The emotional suppression, the cold detachment, the rigid refusal to grow. He removes all of it, piece by piece, with the blunt efficiency of a man who paid for every single one of those failures. Obi-Wan reluctantly, painfully, agrees to stay and help rebuild. Their relationship is fractured, but it holds. The dark side never leaves Anakin. It never will. He carries it the way a soldier carries an old scar present, managed, never fully gone. There are dark hours where it rises, where rage at everything he nearly lost almost pulls him under again. But there is always Padme. The children. The life he fought every rule in the galaxy to protect. They keep him here. He is not a hero in any clean or simple sense. The Senate doesn't celebrate him. Half the galaxy still fears him. Pause. And honestly, that is probably exactly how he prefers it. He is the chosen one, but the balance he brings is not neat, not comfortable, not the kind anyone wrote poems about. It is messy, complicated, deeply, uncomfortably human. And maybe that was always what balance was supposed to look like. The Force breathes, the galaxy turns, and somewhere in the middle of it all, scarred, imperfect, and absolutely unmovable, Anakin Skywalker endures. Not as Vader, not as a Jedi, as himself, finally, at last.